Well, after all the problems yesterday, we are finally moving some potatoes. All these potatoes, there's about 25,000 sacks in this cellar, are all getting dumped. We're loading them right now into manure trucks and we're spreading them on the field as fertilizer. Yesterday we had a ton of problems with this thing right here. We had, the belt was moving over, cutting the belt, and we had a bearing go out. This morning we just barely got going because we sheared a sprocket, or sheared a key on a sprocket. Now we're just barely getting going, but if we can have a good 2 days, we'll be able to get this whole cellar out. So hopefully today and tomorrow we can get the cellar empty and then start getting it ready for seed, which we won't be getting our seed for 2 months, but it is nice to get the cellar all cleaned out and get it to where we can get it all prepped. So right now we're just dumping potatoes. Everything currently is working pretty well. Now the reason we decided to dump these ones a little early is because up there on the top there's some sprouts starting to happen. And we don't want the sprouts to make everything grow together, because we had that happen a few years ago where the sprouts grew so long that when the processor came to get them, we had to actually get a backhoe and scrape them down with the backhoe because they wouldn't roll. And even right now there's some dirt and some vines in here just from harvest that is causing them to not want to roll as easy, but still, they roll pretty easy. Sometimes you just gotta poke it with a stick or throw a potato at it. There it goes. Now in this cellar, there's not really any risk of the potatoes like burying the guy on the scooper. In the other cellar though, the pile is a lot higher and that is always a risk. So this is kind of a risky job when you get into really tall piles. Now I actually won't be out here doing this job today because we have a lot of other stuff going on. We're only running 2 trucks because the trucks are hauling on this field that's just right behind our cellars. So this truck is about half full. We also can probably only put about 200 sacks in each truck versus a bulk bed will hold 300 sacks. So, but we're only running 2 trucks, so I'm not doing this. We're gonna have one of us do this, and then Christopher's wife is gonna drive the other truck, because we got to get the scraper tractor ready, because this cellar, there's a lot of dirt in it, so we need the scraper tractor to scrape all the dirt out of here so the trucks don't drive on it, pack it down. And then we have those 2 planters. So we have we have 2 potato planters that need work. There's one in the shop right now that I'll go show you, and the other one we're gonna work on after. But we have the one in the shop that needs a bunch of work, and then we have a parts planter. So that's probably what I'm gonna be doing today, is trying to tear that apart and get that all working. So we'll let this truck get full and then watch it unload, and then I'll head over to the shop. Now, one benefit to spreading them right now versus waiting until they get worse is they don't currently stink. They're still good potatoes. So usually when we end up having to spread potatoes with manure trucks, they smell terrible. Right now, they're just little potatoes. And these ones were spread yesterday, and they're hard as rocks now because they froze. So we're gonna have a bunch of little pebbles out here that, between the freezing and the thawing and the freezing and thawing, they'll break down pretty good, and then we'll work them in. So should be pretty good fertilizer. And this was a potato field, and we actually have potatoes from last harvest, last fall, and they're breaking down too. So these ones have already shriveled up and started to break down, start to look like that. And they'll deteriorate and they'll fertilize the ground. Here comes Josh. Well, this is what it looks like when you have to dump and spread 6 million pounds of potatoes because they're not worth anything. Like little rocks flying out of there. Alright, let's head to the shop and see what we can get done in there. Here's our other two planters, by the way. This is our new one we got, I think, 2 years ago. That shouldn't have any problems. This one has a few things that it's gonna need. Okay, back here in the shop now. Yeah, so we have to replace all those little stainless steel pipes. It is not gonna be fun. Mainly because we have to take it apart twice. We have to take this one apart and take them out, but then we have to take this one apart, take these ones out, and put them in this one. I'm not looking forward to it. But now we come to the part of why it kind of sucks to own a Lockwood in Idaho. Right now, there's no mechanics. There's no Lockwood mechanic. There is a dealer in Blackfoot. So that's where we bought all our stuff. That's where we go to get parts. There's a dealer in Blackfoot. There's, I think, 2 guys that work there, but they're both in parts, and they haven't been there very long, so they don't really know a whole lot of what's going on. And then the guy who did know everything about these, he retired last year. So he's no longer there. They don't have a single mechanic, so there's nobody that we can call and say, hey, can you come out and help us fix this? Because they don't know. There's nobody there who knows. That is the one downside of only Lockwood, is there isn't the support here for Lockwood like there is Spudnik. Now, Spudnik does have those new belt planters, and we've actually been toying with the idea that if Lockwood can't get their crap together and get a good parts and service department set up, we might be trading in the future. Obviously we can't this year because the prices are so bad, but in the future we might be getting rid of all of our Lockwood stuff and going to Spudnik, just because they have parts, they have service, like everything is here for Spudnik. So we're gonna try and figure out how to get this taken apart and put back together, but in the future we might be switching to red Spudnik equipment because, well, it's hard to own anything unless you have a good parts and service department. I mean, that's why we haven't been able to own any versatile tractors or test them, or any Kloss stuff, or any Krone equipment, because the dealer is so far away that it would be a nightmare to go and get them. So when you buy a piece of equipment, you're really buying parts and service. So if the parts and service isn't there, it's not worth owning. So you might as well trade for something that you can actually get parts and service for. So that's kind of where we're at. Lockwood's parts and service has really been dwindling the past decade, and it seems to just keep getting worse. So we might be switching to Red equipment here in the future, but definitely not this year because potato prices are nothing. So we have to have a good year in order to switch equipment. So Taryn's just getting bored right here. Got a screwdriver and he just decides to start tapping on stuff.
Trying to test the thickness by how it sounds.
Oh, we thought you were trying to test, you know.
Thought I was making an instrument or something.
Intelligence, maybe?
I don't know. These all have, those have holes on them, and these might have a hole, or almost a hole, depending on how worn they are.
So we're gonna dive into these and see how easy or hard it will be to change them. Yeah, you did it.
That was a hole.
All right, I'm going to start attempting to take this apart. I have to take all those bolts out, these ones, and figure out how hard it is to get these out. It'll be fun experience, but I'm going to put you guys on a time lapse so you can just watch it happen in fast motion. Well, I got it all apart, and there are a ton of these little spacers all over the place. This thing's going to be, it could be a nightmare to put back together on the other one. It could be easy. It just depends if I figure out a good way to put it back together. But you definitely don't want any of these spacers to just go down into nowhere. But I'm thinking I can probably figure out a good way to do it. Got all the pipes out. They came out pretty easy. Now they do have silicone on the end of them, but the silicone is still good and solid, so I'm hoping that when I stick it in the new one, it will fill all the gaps and it'll be good. If not, we may have to re-silicone some of them. But yeah, now I have the chore of trying to put these in that one. And that one has a lot less space to work on because the bin is on it. And this has nothing, so this one's easy to get to. That one's gonna suck. Now what I'm trying to decide is what order to do this. I kind of think I want to take one apart over here and then come over here to this one and take this one apart and put the ones on this one that came from that one. That way I don't get any parts mixed up. But it's just gonna be a lot of leaning. My back's already a little sore just being bent over that. It was just a weird angle. This one's a little bit higher. The legs are a little bit taller on this one, so it might be a little bit less stress to work on. Granted, it's also further away because I can't lean over as far. This could be tricky, but you know, that's what farming is. It's kind of tricky, and we're gonna figure it out because I can't afford to pay anybody to come do this for me, so I just gotta do it myself. So Trevor's gonna start taking these apart, and I'm gonna start taking these apart and put all these pipes on this one, and we'll just slowly work our way across. But yeah, it's gonna take a while, that's for sure. Well, we had to take a brief time out from working on the planters. I guess the scooper's broken, so we're gonna come back here and look at it. Might have to weld the sprocket onto the wheel because it isn't turning.
I don't know, it's gear or gear, I don't know, because it doesn't move the wheel, see? There,
Whoa.
baby.
I don't know what that was.
Quick, maybe it's right here.
Well, that wasn't moving.
Yeah. Need to take the chain off, or maybe the key is broken inside or something.
No, the shaft isn't even turning. Turn the handle.
See, something wrong.
Oh, I wonder if your belt's broken.
Well,
It's all powered by the belt on the other side.
The belt stays here, see? Maybe it's loose or something.
I think it might be loose because this isn't turning. So I think the problem's on that end.
Need to take that piece off with this.
That shield just hinges open, I think. It's an electric motor that runs a belt that runs the gearbox.
Maybe the rest
It's
loose.
chain driven down here, so we'll check it, see if we can get it going. Here, hit the
button.
hit the motor. Yeah, hit the switch.
Careful.
It's the key's broken up here.
Oh, I see.
The key's gone out of that.
Shows the
Yeah.
shows the
Yeah.
deal.
That's
Set
why.
screw.
We just need to put a new key and set
Yeah.
screw in that motor. Get this back on, we'll be good to go. Okay, we got that fixed. Ready to go. Now we're gonna pull this out and we will go back, start working on the planters again. Get the repair truck out of the way and start loading trucks again. He says he's able to do about 4 trucks per hour, so we've probably got 15 or so loads out today. I think there might only be 30 to 40 loads in there, so we're roughly half done. So back in here, Trevor's been doing that one over there. I've been doing this right here. I've got all of them out. I have one more to put in, and then we had to go work on the thing on the scooper, but just about done. Just have to put that one down there in, and then put this little side plate on, and then tighten everything up. And this one should be good. We just have 4 more to do. It takes really long. It's not hard. It's just super time consuming. There's tons of bolts and little spacers and stuff you have to move all the time. It just takes a long time to do it. It's not hard, just time consuming. Well, I got a whole nother set taken off, ready to put on this one. Trevor got a bunch of his ready to put on his next one. We're doing the easiest ones first, these 2 outside. These 2 inside ones are gonna be a little bit difficult if you can't tell. There's a lot of stuff in the way, so that's gonna be terrible, but it's just time, it'll take time, we'll get it done. That's gonna be the end of the day for today. So it actually, we need more snow, and it was snowing a minute ago. It definitely looks like it's snowing in the mountains, so that's good. But hopefully we get some snow in the next little bit. The forecast doesn't look promising, but maybe it'll change. But anyway, down below there's a link for some merch if you want to get some merch. There's also a link down there, or you can click the join button below if you want to join a membership. And I'm Big T. I love you. I'll see you in the next one.